Timer complete.
Maggie, thank you so much for the gifted subs. And to everyone else, hello and welcome to Wednesday evening Hansard Mania Reloaded. Cank me. You cannot cank me using that command. Hello, 1, 2, and cank myself there.
Egg.
That command will only cank up the desktop audio. Yeah, I've given myself quite a big boost, so much so I'm slightly in the red. I might even need to come down. My captions are a mad mess. Let's take a look. Captioning enabled. Save. Hello. 1, 2. I think maybe now I have turned on the good captions. Tell me what they are like now. I'm now looking at the readout, and they look okay. The poll circles haven't gone away. Yeah, I think I moved it off of a bad captioning service onto a good one. Since the last stream and this one, I have updated Sammy to about 6 months into the future, and I've updated 2 whole version numbers in OBS. Wow, thank you very much, Maggie. Can we get some MFBKs in the chat to celebrate? Is it the return of Maggie? Are you out of the woods now? I think these captions are coming off a lot better than I thought they would. What if I go really Birmingham? What if I talk more Birmingham? How does it handle more of an accent though? Can it even handle me if I'm just mumbling stuff? If I'm just mumbling things? What if I'm just mumbling things? It's doing better than I thought it would. All right, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, they're coming across quite well. Mono has shared a big long thread of captioning resources, and some of them will look a lot more impressive than I thought they would be. So I guess that's pretty good. Yeah, I apologise, Harry. If I had the means, I'd have you full time as a gremlin living in my flat under the cupboard like a little Harry Potter figure. A little bit of puppy coming in. I think a lot of people don't. I think a lot of people don't use them. I guess now I do. I've spent a lot today working on a feature that I now think is not going to work. I'm trying to make something in Sammy that I think ultimately Sammy isn't going to support good collision detection. But I learned a lot of valuable skills. The puppy orchestra is coming along nicely. There's forward momentum, and I'm now quite confident that the project will turn over something nice in the end. And I'd say at the beginning of the week, I had not got a clue how it was going to work. One thing to test before we go into Hansard Mania proper, can a mod set up a prediction of some kind, and we just check that the predictions overlay thing works? It should do, but predictions don't work properly without the stream running. And I think I know how to fix it if it's not, but yeah, in fact, is there a mod here who is yeah, I think if you just do /prediction, it'll give you a sub menu. The reason I'm not going to make one through Sammy is that Sammy isn't going to really control people's channel points. Yeah, I'd say activate the internet crime tunnel. It's time for gambling, Dan. No, I think it's time for things to go bad again, Charbel. Also, if anyone wants to do a poll, in fact, I can do a prediction. Why should I? Let's start a prediction. Okay, does this prediction work? And outcome 1 is yes, outcome 2 no, and outcome 3 mixed bag. Works to some degree. And the submission period will be 30 seconds because I just want to see if it works. Made a noise? I don't see it. It made a noise, I do not see the thing. So, I guess you could say it works to some degree. Okay. So you are active here. Do you just need to be refreshed? Do you just need to be refreshed? Is it as simple as that? Do you want to be modded, Charbel? Do you want a mod? A mod chip? Is that what you want? You want to be undissed? No, you want to be dissed. You want to be dissed every day. What a strange thing to want. Okay, maybe I'll regenerate an overlay from the same website. And then we'll be on our way and ready to Hansard until the night grows old and pale. Okay, cool. Predictions overlay. I think it's because I've not used it in a while. It just needs to be... To use overlay, simply add the URL as a browser source. I sort of already had done, but let's try again. Predictions, new, call that. And then if I just do this now, yeah, these are predictions, slightly different because, okay, choose the outcome. It was a mixed bag, I would say, because it did make a noise. Prediction, let's just see if this one will work. Okay, start prediction. Does this work? And then I'm just going to put in 1, 2, and 3, and I'm not going to, they don't have any meaning. What's going on here? Oh, it's just not working. That's cool. Are we still, does it still say Outer Wilds? It's not supposed to. Ah, it's just not working. Okay, Twitch predictions overlay. I'll see if I can just pull something out of Google. Yeah, you get the crime tunnel ready. Okay. I didn't mean to start this off with troubleshooting. I guess we don't necessarily need an overlay for it. I just think it's nicer, just somewhat nicer. Just don't quite understand. Harry, in what way do you think you would be able to help? Just want to check that you are... Okay, I'm just going to turn that off. I need to remove that because I no longer think it's adequately disruptive enough. And yeah, I say that while being annoyed that you've turned it on. So why is this not working? It's not the cache. Also, when I follow that link, nothing happens. Is it possible that this just doesn't do anything anymore? It's just broken. Okay, I guess no overlay this time round, because it doesn't work. If someone knows of another predictions overlay, though I don't see why anyone would. We'll go with that. Okay, for those who haven't seen Hansard Mania before, it is probably the simplest and most straightforward concept that I have to offer anyone. The UK Parliament, which includes the House of Lords and the House of Commons, keeps a written transcript of everything that is said there in any debate, Prime Minister's questions, anything that goes on there. Special interest committees. That goes back 200 years and is now all digitised as of a few years ago. And we are going to pull out words or phrases and we will bet channel points, which is just a fake currency that accrues as you watch the stream, on whether or not these words will turn up. I have a randomizer, and if you put !add, Hansard, and then something you want to search for, that will all go into a randomizer. And once we have a nice little pot, we'll start drawing them out and we'll get it underway. What I would recommend is a good suggestion is one where it's not quite clear whether or not it will be in there. If it leans one way or the other, there's no contention in the voting and there's no tension. We really want to bankrupt some fools tonight, and also make some monarchs, money monarchs. Can you add to Hansard? I've put in a request. I put in an official petition to the government. They have denied it. I don't know why. They've only responded with emojis. Phoenix Knights, that's very good. Do you know? It could be. So the thing about Parliament is, I would say 90% of it plus is in such a stuffy and formal speech. But since the mid 20th century, well, towards the later end, some MPs, Labour MPs, make a show of being working class. You know? They push back against it. And so they might reference, brown sauce, Branston pickle. They also will reference things that you might not expect if it's like culturally or economically significant. Basil Fawlty. Yeah, this is good. Terrible diarrhea is absolutely not going to come up. Wombling? See, wombles, I'd say yes. Womblings is a definite no. There must be somewhere between wombles and wombling where it feels more on the line. Wine mum? That's really good. That's quite a good one. Mecha bingo? Mecha bingo will come up because it's a business. Most businesses get talked about now and then. Smeg? It's a type of fridge. Smegma, and we're in business. I bet your terrible diarrhea will definitely be enhanced. I don't think so. I can't imagine it would be. Alright. Let's spin. I'm going to do remove random. Oh, I know you are. I'm just thinking of any reason why it may be in there. Because we're not looking for intent, right? We're looking for, is it there or not? Okay, random remove Hansard. Does that no longer work? Oh no, it's random Hansard. Great. This will pick one and then it'll take it out of the deck. Top Gear. We'll make this a short one because Top Gear 100% will be in there. Top Gear is one of the largest cultural exports of the BBC. It's exported all around the world on World Network. But I might be wrong. I think we'll standardise. Has Top Gear ever been said in Parliament? And there's only 2 things you can submit. Yes or no. You've got 2 minutes. Put your bets in now. Alistair Beckett King will not have come up in Parliament. Oh, here it is. It's here. Why? Why are you here now? I lost valuable tempo time attending to you. And yet here we are. You're here again. Fine. Fine. Hello, Phil. Can't know that for sure. Yes, I cannot know anything 100%, but when I know something 99%, it also means that the voting... Can I clarify the context is relevant? Yes, completely. We are only interested in if I put the phrase in, does it get hit? Okay, some people are voting no. There is a quite a good multiplier in that the more people vote one way, the more your points return. Yeah, it doesn't need to be the TV show. They could talk about, this new policy of building a fucking tunnel. Now that we've got bricks and mortar and 50 workmen, it's really going into top gear now. I think you have about 30 seconds left. Yes, we have 30 channel points for no, and if it does turn out that it's not in there, you will earn a very tidy sum. I honestly, if I was voting, I'd go all in on yes. But you get an almost 4,000% return on no. Okay, let's find out the results together. Let's make this site a bit bigger. There we go. Keywords, date searching from 1800 to the present day. Has anyone ever said Top Gear? I mean, I think this is open and shut, but we'll see. Every time it searches the entire archive, so it takes a minute. Is the voting a new system? Nope. Nope. Except the cookies. Yeah, from Hansard. I'm going to be here long enough, and also it shows more of the site on the screen. Okay, so Top Gear was first uttered in 1932. It got very big in the early 2010s, probably because of Top Gear. And overall has been said 126 times. So I'd say an astounding victory for the yeses there. So some of Pokemon Wet Blue is not going to have been said in Parliament. You're looking for things that are... Look at a few of the results. Often I do, but it's so obvious what this will be about. This is about television licenses, where they're talking about the show Top Gear. Here they're talking about motor vehicles and speedometers, talking about what the Top Gear ratio should be. It's not... I don't think we're going to unearth any juicy dialogue here. I think it's all going to be straightforward motoring talk. You want to know the really old one? Here it is, the motor vehicles and speedometers. This is the Earl of Kinnoul. I only intended to suggest that the Top Gear ratio should be altered, not any other. And we could go and get more context for that, but I don't think it would be interesting. I'd rather press forward. Harry Tracks. Mr. Blobby, I think, is maybe on that middle ground. I want to congratulate Arid Tracks. Mr. Blobby, I think almost certainly we'll get it. And it was like in 1996 they said Mr. Blobby 70 times. But we'll find out. Okay, next one. Random Hansard. Okay. Brett Domino will not have been said. Look, is it worth me doing a prediction for Pokemon Wet Blue? Because it's... I mean, to say true to the format... Congratulations to those who picked yes for Top Gear. We're now going on to our next prediction. Has Pokemon Wet Blue ever been seen as Hansard? In Hansard. I'll just put Pokemon Wet Blue. This is what you're betting on. Yes or no? Yes, no. 2 minutes. Start your bets. And we're looking for the full phrase here. There may be an argument to look for the individual phrases, but obviously the words wet, the word blue, and the word Pokemon have probably all been said. You say it isn't a real game? No, I'm not saying it's not a real game, but I don't think they would have said Pokemon Leaf Green. I'm pretty confident no one's ever said Pokemon Mystery Dungeon DX either. It's too specific. Pokemon will have come up. Even Pikachu will have come up. But there's no way they're going to be saying Pokemon Wet Blue, I would argue. Okay, how are things looking? Okay, someone's put 1,336 points on yes. And I just want to say this is suicide. This is canal puncture suicide. But I won't punish anyone for suggestions that I think are wrong. I'll just keep entering them, and we can just enjoy the experience of everyone knowing the outcome before it's revealed. Yu-Gi-Oh, maybe. Yu-Gi-Oh is never that big. But perhaps if someone was doing a list of all Japanese cultural exports around the time of the Pokemon phase, maybe. Pokemon Stacks. What's Pokemon Stacks? Is it spelt like that? S-T-A-K-S. They're like little square magnets. Pass me by. If it passed me by, it's not coming up in Parliament. Okay, here we go. Pokemon Wet Blue. I'm also willing to search it again with the the accent mark if we want to be absolutely sure. But we'll try once. Pokemon Wet Blue. Okay, it's just whirling here while it thinks. It goes. Oh, no one's ever said Pokemon Wet Blue in 1935. Has anyone ever said Pokemon Wet Blue in 1821? Okay, and I'll just do it with the accents as well because it was submitted with the accent, so we want to be absolutely certain on this. I think I'm going to be issuing some apologies to whoever voted over 1,000 canal punter into this. You can't add suggestions? Yes, I may have greedily restricted it to subscribers. That was for the sake of avoiding trouble and harassment. Sassy mode? No, I'm well, I was hoping for diplomatic. What's the word? I was trying to be a nudge unit, you know, nudge you into the right frame of mind. Oh, thank you very much, Maggie. Yeah, no, actually, normally the randomizer isn't so integrated. Usually, it's just a fun toy that sits on top of other stuff. It does feel a bit different to limit it to subs. Maybe I could delimit it. Yes. Yes, that seems only fair. Spleeny Wine Mum's next. And that one's nice, I think. That one's actually on the level. In the meantime, for those who... Did Wet Blue come up? I'm afraid not. I'm afraid not. However, is Wine Mum going to be in there? But now Spleeny's added it, so it's in the deck now. Oh, but we could always manually remove it. Okay, Wine Mum. No, it's fine. It actually, there is a way to just fish a thing out. Okay, 2 minutes. Wine Mum. I think that one's tough. This is what I like. This is. I want to say the gristle, but normally gristle is not desirable. But this is the good gristle of it. You know, really chewing that hard. Why would someone say Wine Mum in Parliament? Why would an MP or a local councillor or a special body that's come in, like an NGO or someone in a quango or some dame or heiress, why would any of these people need to say Wine Mum? Only needs to have been said once, right? And also, there's been a lot more debates recently. The size of Parliament has increased. Yeah, and at A Frosty's suggestion, keep in mind that still would come up. Even if it's like got a comma, the Hansard search doesn't always respect that. Have some wine, Mum. But they're not going to say that, are they? Let's see. Oh, it really is split. There seems to be a lot more points for yes. Catbox is here. Catbox and Maggie are here. Ooh. Who's just dropped such a fat stack on no? Who's just moneybags themselves? This is it now. This is Hansard Mania. This is Hansard Mania Reloaded. That's gambling right there. Yeah, also you can destroy the people's payouts if you make sure there's loads more betting on the other side. Wine Mum. What do I think? I try not to even consider it until after the voting has ended, just in case I influence the votes. I don't want to be thumbing the scale when so many canal punter are on the line. Wine Mum. I think we will see it, but it will be like a run-on sentence. It will be like they're unconnected words that kind of, there's like a comma separating them or something. There's two clauses. I think it'll appear, that's my bet, it'll appear, but it won't be to evoke the specific concept of Wine Mum. Just those two words will be next to each other. Okay, here we go. Wine Mum. There's Canal Punter on the line here. How does the randomizer handle duplicates? Yeah, it takes them all in. There will be 3 Paddy McGuinnesses on the list. But I think maybe we'll discard all of them. Oh! Will you look at that? There's nary a Wine Mum to be seen. I feel like I can't believe it. Oh yeah, you think in Parliament they'd say Wine Mother. Thank you, Blue Coconut Monkey. I think I like the Hansard streams as well. One day, we'll know the entire Hansard inside and out, and there'll be nothing left to bet. And Alexander will weep for there are no more Hansards to grow manic over. What about Wine and Mum on their own? It won't affect the outcome, but we're just poking. We're just poking the nest. Well, there's the Queen Mum, isn't there? The Queen Wine. Well, there was the Queen Wine Mum. The valedictory debate, tobacco and advertising and promotion bill by Mr. Birmingham, the Christmas expenditure. Yeah, but this is just Wine and Mum appearing nearish to each other. I'm afraid Wine Mum has not come up. Apologies to the yeses, the noes have it. Absinthe Dad. I might reach the point where I just reject the jokes and take them as jokes and not real suggestions. They said wine gum? Almost certainly. But have they said wine gun? Has anyone been bankrupted? Have we got our first bankruptcy of the night? In the meantime, let's see what we're putting next into the Hansard's labyrinthine archive. Oh, I didn't put any additional information to that query. Hansard, should the vote reasons be yay or nay? Yep, we can see to that. The thing is, I know. Okay. Here we go. Has Sean Morley ever been said in Parliament in 200 years? Over 200 years. 211 years. Is it a common name? Are there many Sean Morleys? I'm aware of the top 4 most famous Sean Morleys, according to SEO results and people tagging me by mistake. I already know the answer to this one. I think I do. And if it's what I'm thinking of, I've got a story about it. But it's not a happy one. It's not a happy story at all. Well, I'll just let these predictions come rolling in. Are you in the top 4? Oh yeah, I'm in the top 4. I'm in the top 4 Google results for my own name. Oh yeah. That's called self-actualization, baby. Hey, it's Gav Cross. Hello, Gav. Thank you very much for the Prime subscription. How are you? You've been doing some Twitch stuff, haven't you? Have you been doing storytelling of some kind? Gav, do you think my name's ever been said? Oh, you do? You voted yes? Keep in mind, I am not obliged to tell you the truth during the predictions. I haven't really firmly told you anything. I haven't really said anything, have I? Okay, 4 seconds. The only person I found with my name was on Facebook, and in the top 2 groups it showed that they were in the BNP and the EDL, so I've decided I'm the best person with my name. That seems fair enough. You might even have a nemesis. A namesake nemesis. Okay, Sean Morley, dating from 1800 to today's date. Have you ever said my name? Now, I think I know the answer to this. I haven't actually searched it, but I do know of an incident that I believe got raised in Parliament. So we'll find out. And if it is what I'm thinking of, it's not funny. It's not funny at all. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, quite a lot. Quite a lot there. Yeah, I think this will be what I'm thinking of. Yeah, it's been said 8 times. Yeah, so in 2016, for a joke, I changed my Twitter handle from @SeanMorley to @SeanMorley Brand Consumer Technology or something like that for like a month as a joke. And then when I tried to change it back, someone had it. Someone had took it. And I sent them some messages saying, "Can I have this back? Because I know it's your name as well, and you're sort of just as entitled to it as I am." But I had only left it for like a week and a half, you know? It's like I had just got out of my desk and now you've hopped in it. Can I have it back? Because I had that for 6 years. I had that for 6 years. And I just changed it for a joke and you've had it. But they never responded. And I messaged them fairly regularly, not hounding them. I'm just like, have you considered? I could pay you. I could pay you money for this. So, you know, and I would really like it. It would be really helpful to me. And then I thought, this guy's not replying to me. Is he replying to anyone? So I decided to search, like, who's talking to this guy? Does he reply to them at least? And there was a lot of messages saying like, "Oh, I'll never forget the time we spent together, thinking about you a lot. Never gonna forget all the time we spent together, miss you." Thinking, this guy's really popular, is he? And he's not responding to any of these people. He's got loads of fans. And I'm like, this guy must be really big. So I looked him up. And not only was he killed in a car crash, but he was killed in a car crash in an unusual way. So unusual and so severe was the events that led to his death that the Sean Morley Memorial got made and the Sean Morley Road Safety Foundation and stuff like that. And he's been brought up in Parliament 8 times. It was a real big deal in the road safety infrastructure and bylaws community. And yeah, it knocked me out of my Google SEO rankings until I was number 4 behind a pornographic libertarian cryptocurrency wrestler and a mid-level kayaker. Well, that's my story, and that's how I knew what would happen there. No, I'm fine. I've bounced back. The bit of green that I keep back there has rustled. No, I'm fine. I'm alive. I'm well, if anything. I'm making pancakes tomorrow. I got the last bag of flour in Vomar. In Voordeelmarkt. Did we find any good ones? None so far. Let's see what's coming up next. Right after I cash out Sean Morley. Choose outcome. The outcome was the eye. The eyes have it. No. I did not run over Sean Morley. I Sorry, I wasn't watching the chat while I shared the anecdote, so I didn't know how it was being interpreted. I want to make very clear that the subtext there is not that I ran over my namesake, because how can he give me my handle back now? That's the problem. He still has it. He's not using it. Hello, Rosanna. How's the bus? What's the route? It's not a threat. If I need you to log into something and do something for me, I can't kill you. So really, it's anything I'm saying. Have some information online connected to your account and you'll never get harmed by me. Alright, let's see what's coming up next. Next into the Hansard is... I forgot to give. So it's an alibi. Well, I'm innocent, so I got nothing to hide. No, Harry, I'm fine. Harry, I'm doing well. Oh, what were the options of that? Okay, random Hansard. Red Dwarf. So Summer, I'm presuming it was Summer that put this in. A red dwarf's also a thing that happens to a sun at the end of its life cycle. And with that in mind, I think there's two vectors, isn't there, of it coming up in Parliament. I think you just added quite a lot of submissions. Okay. Red dwarf. Aye or no. And this will be 2 minutes. Get your bets in. Hello, Gribocheck 286. Gribocheck, tell me, do you think between 1800 and 2023 anyone ever said red dwarf in the UK Parliament? Well, you know, I think I'm worried about the sun becoming a red dwarf. I'd quite like to be talking about Crichton as well, that'd be quite nice. 2223. Yeah, they could be talking about a dwarf that is red, I suppose. Why not? The eyes have it. Also, okay, well let's try and make the argument from the other side then. Why would MPs need to talk about a red dwarf? It will be how many years until the sun becomes a red dwarf? How many years until the sun becomes a red dwarf? 5 billion years, roughly. So it's not exactly something that politicians need to worry about. Lembit-Opix, why would they? Lembit-Opix space colony will not exist in 6 months, let alone 5 billion years. No, I don't think MPs will talk about the TV show Red Dwarf. Like, even non-politicians don't really talk about Red Dwarf very much. People don't really talk about Red Dwarf much. Like smegheads. I don't know. Well, yeah, I guess so. I don't think I've ever described anyone as a smeghead. Well, we'll find out together, won't we? In the 90s, I still don't think so. I just don't think Red Dwarf was that big. Top Gear didn't even come up that much. And most of that was about motoring. A good Pete Smeghead's already in there. I'm a little nervous about this one. Well, let's find out together. Has anyone ever said Red Dwarf in Parliament? Really could go either way. I really think no is more likely than people think. 4 times. 4 times. The first time in 1995 and the last time in 2008. Curious who's talking about Red Dwarf in 2008. The first time is Michael Fabricant. Let's find out what the BSE crisis. I want to read all of these. The National Institute for Health and Clinical Excellence. Hang on, I want to read all of these. Okay, let's start at the top. Oh, and I will prediction. Choose outcome. The ayes have it. Red dwarf has been said in Parliament. I guess I'll search the word dwarf. One Foot in the Grave received an award from the Royal Television Society for its brilliant construction. Red Dwarf won an Emmy. There you go. It's the recognition of Red Dwarf winning an Emmy. Dwarf. Oh, whoever predicted that the phrase Red Dwarf would come up as a slur against Labour, pat yourself on the back. The debate was born out of opportunism. It is not a debate born out of love of farming. It is not a debate to enable Labour to put forward solutions of its own, because none have been forthcoming. It has been an ill-timed debate, preventing the Minister of Agriculture from arguing our corner in Brussels today. It has shown New Labour at its worst, a red dwarf with a hindsight chip plugged into a soundbite machine with no forward vision and no solutions to our farming future. I guess red, because red is the symbol of Labour and more broadly the Labour movement, and dwarf because little guy can't think of forward-thinking solutions to our farming future. Okay, this is Dr. Howard Stokes arguing about, what's this about? What is this about? The National Institute for Health and Clinical Excellence. Oh boy. It's going right into the weeds on health infrastructural stuff. Let's find out what Howard Stone has to say. I shall start by paraphrasing Crichton from the TV series Red Dwarf. There are true problems facing every healthcare system in the world. First, it is impossible to meet every need, and secondly, it is impossible to meet every need. Did Crichton say that? Did Crichton say there are two problems facing every healthcare system in the world? First, it is impossible to meet every need, and secondly, it is impossible to meet every need? Crichton doesn't... Red Dwarf isn't really like that. It's not that kind of a show. Doesn't really talk about that kind of thing. Hang on. Crichton quotes. Hang on, let's just see. Red Dwarf, how does Red Dwarf come up here? A third way to resolve this problem, it has been alluded to, is an alternative to the regulation that most of us do not want unless it is really necessary. To hope that technology will so develop that the bad practices that have grown with it will eventually disappear through better technology. Since tabling the early day motion to which I referred, several organisations that I have contracted have made the suggestion. They suggested that speech recognition technology might be the way forward, and that someday we might be able to converse with a mechanised voice at the end of a phone with as much satisfaction as we currently experience when dealing with human operators. A character such as Holly from the programme Red Dwarf will speak to us, and everybody will be able to save money without in any way impairing the service provided to the consumer. Sorry, who's saying that? Who's Dr. Pugh? Who are you, Dr. Pugh? He's the MP for Southport saying we can save money by having everyone talk to Holly from Red Dwarf. Oh, it's based on this. Superlative suggestions say we're just two minor flaws. One, we don't have any defensive shields, and two, we don't have any defensive shields. Hey. I don't think that's a tribute. The idea of saying there are two problems and then listing that problem twice, that's not a Red Dwarf thing, is it? It's just, I'm sure you can find that joke. It's not a clear paraphrase. It's not anything. It's just someone being weird. It's just someone who likes Red Dwarf. It's awful. What a mangled. This is the National Institute for Health and Clinical Excellence we're talking about. All right, what's next? Those poles have never reset, have they? They just keep growing. Basil faulty. I quite like that. I think... Okay, so I think you can say with absolute confidence that Faulty Towers comes up again and again and again. Yes, I looked at all 4. Basil faulty. You used to work for who? Boom Banger Bang? Nay. It will be there as a bad paraphrase to show a slur against Labour. See, 40 towels will definitely come up, but I'm not sure if anyone would bother to go further in and say actually Basil faulty. Oh, you worked for the National Institute of Care Excellence. Did the predictions just go away? Did the predictions just vanish prematurely there? And what happens if I... Oh no, I forgot to scroll down and change the... Okay, I'm going to delete that. Delete and return points. Apologies, everyone. I'm refunding. We'll do it again with the 2 minutes. Basil faulty. It always resets back to the... Okay. I deserve that. I deserve to be wide. You're right. I messed up. I deserve to be wide. Okay. Basil faulty. The votes are coming in. It's okay. I messed up. You can widen me. I wouldn't mind a few eggs as well while I wait.
Egg.
Wouldn't mind a few little eggs.
Egg. Egg.
Oh yeah, love
Egg.
them.
Egg.
Egg.
Thank you.
Egg. Egg.
Thank you.
Egg.
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 Oh, lovely.
Egg.
Ah, yum yum.
Egg.
It's Easter.
Egg. Egg.
Egg.
Oh, here I
Egg.
go.
Egg. Egg.
Ah, it's Easter.
Egg.
Ah, I love checking Hansard, I
Egg.
do.
Egg.
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 I love
Egg.
checking Hansard.
Egg.
How do you think,
Egg.
do you think Basil
Egg.
Faulty's ever been said in Hansard, do you?
Egg.
Do you think they've said,
Egg.
do you think they've said Basil Faulty, do you?
Egg.
Can't see why they would, really. Yeah, maybe the show they would, yeah, maybe the show. But for Guy, why would... Oh, they'd swerve, I reckon. They'd be flimming and flomming all off the road. Probably. I wouldn't do it, though. I don't want the bus driver to tap the sign. Yeah. Can't do anything these days. Have you heard they've made it illegal to have a LARP? You can't even live action roleplay these days. Now, if it weren't for that weird guy from Nice, Crichton wouldn't have come up, I reckon. Probably. Alright, let's take a look. Basil Faulty. Are you in there? Knock, knock. Where are you, lad? Don't mention the war. Classic. Do you remember when Russell Brand had sex with Manuel's granddaughter and then told him on the phone with Jonathan Ross? I bet that's come up in Parliament a few times, hasn't it? They mentioned the war. I mentioned it, but I think I got away with it. And then Trigger fell through the bar, didn't he? Oh, let's take a look. Here we go. Oh, yeah, he's all over the place. Oh, you can't move for him. Oh, the dirty sausage has gone all over everywhere. Trigger didn't fall through the bar. Oh, yeah. Rodney Plonker fell through the bar. Alright, Basil Fawlty's come up. Yeah, for the first time it came up in 1991 in the local government finance bill. In 1986, Mrs. Rumbold said, I love it. The honourable gentleman would be better advised to stick to his accounts of Fawlty Towers and John Cleese and Basil Fawlty than try to pick me up on something about which it is clear he knows absolutely nothing. Oh boy, here we go. Well, my lords, I am grateful to my noble friend, Lord Campbell Savers, for giving us the opportunity to debate this extremely important topic. I was shocked to discover the other day that it is slightly more than 40 years since the first episode of Fawlty Towers was broadcast on television. I'm sure that many remember that first episode, which introduced Basil Fawlty to the nation. He was a hotel owner, as many probably remember. He comes across as a person describing himself as Lord Melbury, with whom he naturally forms a sort of fawning relationship, believing everything that he says. Lord Melbury, of course, as those who have seen the episode will know, is a con man. Because Basil Fawlty has no means of verifying the identity, he gets taken for a ride with all the ensuing consequences. The principle of enabling citizens to verify each other's identity is actually an extremely important one. I think this is. I think they're using Fawlty Towers to do ID cards. I think a Labour Lord. Yeah, I think a Labour Lord is using the first episode of Fawlty Towers as his primary argument for the introduction of ID cards into the United Kingdom. That's mad, may I say. It is a protection for businesses, as in the case of Basil Fawlty, and for the public. Who am I dealing with online? Oh, who am I dealing with face to face? Well, ID cards doesn't help you know who you're dealing with online, right? If I've got an ID card, I can still register as flipping young goat. My avatar can still be Piccolo. The green guy. Okay, Basil Fawlty's come up. Prediction. Yeah, he was there. He was there many times over. One about the BBC. View all 31 results. Finance bill. Local government access to information. Identity documentation. Engagements. Debate on the address. Mr. Nick Clegg. Mr. Nick Clegg brought up Basil Fawlty. Being lectured on donations by a member of the Labour Party is a bit like being lectured on customer service by Basil Fawlty. That's actually pretty good. When was this? What year was this? 2008. This was just after Cash for Honours, right? That's a zing. That's how we got in. That's how we got in. That's how he tricked us. First World War commemoration. Oh my God, you're going to talk about not mentioning the war. It's a First World War commemoration. I'm afraid that some of our more shouty newspapers are salivating at the prospect of the government attempting a grotesque impersonation of Basil Fawlty, in which we do not mention the war for fear of upsetting Germany. Sorry, Dr. Murrison, but if you've watched any Fawlty Towers, you'll know that Basil Fawlty actually does mention the war. He mentions the war 12 times. The whole episode revolves around the fact that he does, in fact, mention the war. This sounds like someone who's only heard the catchphrase, "Don't mention the war," hasn't seen Fawlty Towers, who'd be like, I guess he didn't mention the war then. He's quite insistent that people don't do it. BitTorrent. That's quite good. Can I just say, Martine? That's quite good. That's quite good. It's such a specific torrenting application. What's the most recent time? 2021, 2022? Can we get more recent than that? Someone said it last year, maybe? 2004, 2015, 2014, 2016, 2018, 2017, 2021. July 2021, the Environmental Bill by Lord Goldsmith of Richmond Bank. That's Stuart Goldsmith's dad. Basil Fawlty. We have a happy customer, and to quote Basil Fawlty, we should have him stuffed. Don't know. Doesn't mean anything to me. Harry. Harry. Okay, did I do the payout for that last one? Yes. So what's next? Random Hansard. I should sip something. That's quite good. That's quite good. Okay. Okay, it's quite good. It's quite good. Was that one of yours, Harry? That's quite good. Are we accepting any variations on that? Do we want it to be word for word, I need the toilet? Or do we want to include I need the lavatory? Which is probably the poshest thing I could think of. Thank you, A Frosty. Always good to have some girth updates. Water closet. I don't think anyone says water closet. Maybe they do though, right? In 1820. I need the bathroom. Yeah. Do we want to include more? I would extend it to toilet, lavatory, loo, and bathroom. Span Morley? It's quite good. It's quite good. Commode? Nah. Commode. If we're letting commode in, then we got to do water closet. We got to do little boys' room, little girls' room. Lavvy. Latrine? No, because then you'll get army people talking about latrines. You'll get talking about latrines in building sites. Like, I need the latrine quality on the front lines to be top notch, otherwise they'll all get impetigo. What did they say 200 years ago? The poo hole. I option toilet, lavatory, loo. I had a fourth one. Toilet, lavatory, loo. What's the other one? There's some other one. Piss pot. Bathroom, of course, bathroom. Toilet, lavatory, loo, bathroom. That's what I'm. Those are the plausible ones. But remember, even though I'm widening the word, we still need the whole phrase, I need the toilet, bathroom, lavatory. Toilet, loo, lavatory, bathroom. I've come off my medication. Okay, let's get this prediction started. Oh, thank you, Tlib. I'll remember that. I need the Tlib. Yes, no, I won't write Tlib. If it fits, toilet, lavatory, loo, bathroom. Okay, no, it does all fit. Submission period 2 minutes. Get your bets in. I need the lavatory facilities to be better equipped. Maybe. But they often wouldn't say I need, would they? They'd say the membership of Somerset Council and its constituency need better bathroom facilities. It would be rare for them to say I need something. Hello, the True Saviour 23. I have a question for you. Do you think anyone in the UK Parliament, that includes the House of Commons and the House of Lords, have ever said, I need the bathroom, I need the loo, I need the lavatory, or I need the toilet, ever while talking in the House of Commons or the House of Lords? We never said I need it all now. We could look that up as well. We could check that. Absolutely. Well, we're about to find that out. We're about to know definitively. We might be the only people who've searched this. Doesn't that make you feel like you're part of history? The worst bit, the bad end of history, the poo stick of history. Also, just trying out so you don't know, I don't think there's anything specific about UK history or culture that might make it more or less likely. Not into the mic. Yeah, they might have whispered it. Yeah, that won't be covered in the Hansard. You're right. They might have whispered it under their breath somewhere. Didn't need the loo. Yeah, they might. Sometimes we'll need to nip to the toilet, and they might need to say that in the debate. Sorry, I missed some of the honourable members' last statement because, well, no, because you can't say I missed something because I need the toilet. We'll see. We'll see. There's only one way to know. Okay, coming in first. I need the toilet. We've got a few searches to do. Let's just smash through them. Okay, Tlib part 1. I need the toilet. Coming up with nothing. Coming up with nothing. No, I need the toilet. I'm not hiding anything with my chair there. I need the toilet is not there. Lou, very unlikely, so we'll do that next. If toilet's not come up, I've got a sinking feeling about this. I've got a real sinking feeling here. I need the loo. I'm afraid that has not come up. Lavatory, possibly. As we look at things in maybe the 1920s. Could be. I need the lavatory. Is that definitely how you spell it? Lavatory? Lavatory. Lavatory, yeah. Love Actually. Tlib. Hang on, what's Tlib? Bathroom. I need the bathroom. Have I done that? Toilet, lavatory, loo, bathroom. Tlib. It's actually Tlb. It's not here. No. No problem, True Saviour. Jambard has made an excellent point. They wouldn't say, I need the toilet. They would say, I need to use the toilet. Or I need to attend the toilet event. Excuse me, I've been invited to a toilet event and I must attend. Excuse me, my bladder has invited me to the toilet. And I'm sure I need has come up. I'm sure there are some like weird rules about what you can and can't say, especially about but it's more about referring to other people. You can still say I, and that's why I need has been said, 39,000 times. Everyone's up and go. I think there are facilities built into the chair. Has it been said every session? No, it was never said in. It was never said in 1989, and also the "my wife" gap holds for this as well. I didn't quite see how the voting spread went for this. A fair chunk of you voted yes. I really want to find a nice juicy one that splits people 50-50. Yeah, the my wife gap was quite a puzzle. Alright, what's coming up next? I quite like the randomizer. We can really pull up a real tempo here. A good Pete. Okay, I'm going to accept it just spaced out like that. Start prediction. A good Pete. Yes, no, 2 minutes. Go. Well, I'm thinking there's lots of reasons those words might come up together. Peat is also like peat bogs. Peat is a kind of, I don't know what the word for it is. It's a kind of dirt. It's a kind of soil. Oh, well, we're fucked. Oh well, this is a wash then, isn't it? This is actually pointless. This is a waste of time. I really thought there was a bit of a, well, maybe. No, not at all. This is a waste of time. just waiting for the timer to go down so it can say no when we move on. Look, what do people think about empowering me just to veto pointless ones that aren't going to, is there a way I can sort of power through these ones? I want to get the good ones. I want to get the ones where it's really down the line. Exactly, we want the nail biters. I'm Stream King. No. If you empower me, then I have the consent of the governed. That's what I want. And if that consent goes up, and that stops you being a tyrant, right? Because I'm saying, oh, can I have some power? We're going, yeah, fill your boots. And then I fill my boots. And that, there's something going on there. Something better than tyranny. Well, that's what I used to do. What I might do is I'll still spin them. I like spinning the wheel. Spin the wheel feels good. Feels game show. But I will just nix ones if I don't think it's likely to be a nail biter. I have done enough Hansard Mania to know that nail biting is the absolute cream of the crop. It's the best experience we can have. Okay, let's find out if a good Pete comes up. I mean, we're really going to kick ourselves. I'm absolutely going to have to retire as Hansard expert if I'm wrong. It's no. Yes, no one voted yes. Good. Everyone wants to... Could you just do away with the betting on the non-nail biters? Yeah, and maybe I could just show... Do you know what? Yeah, maybe. I'll still put them in, and I will also be like, look, there's no nail bite in here. It's obviously this. Poof. Maybe there'll be the opportunity to prove them wrong. Lord Campbell Savers. Before I work out whether I'm accepting this one, has anyone heard? This is a joke one. It's not a real person. Or should we just move on? You read their name earlier. Oh, then I'm not going to do it. Okay. I couldn't tell who that was. I don't keep anything in my short or long-term memory. Office Christmas party. Oh, well. That's 100% going to be in it, right? Because there was that whole thing with... the Christmas party over COVID, right? Did we do this one? We didn't, but... We haven't done it. But at the same time, there was a massive parliamentary scandal about... They wouldn't say that phrase for it, though. I feel like it's got to... Alright, no, I'm not 100%. There's enough in it. There's enough in it. There's enough in it. I might get harsher over time, but for now I think maybe there's enough in Office Christmas Party. Well, there are lots of common phrases that don't get said in Parliament. Because they talk more bosh. Is that even the way to describe it? They've got this really weird register for the most part. And yeah, there's a few like normal people in there. A few people just from like the shit end of Stafford who've just been vaulted into Parliament. But they're such a minority and it's mostly freaks. It's enough. It's enough. It does seem very likely that Office Christmas Party will come up. Especially because there was a big parliamentary scandal. What happens if everyone votes for one way and then it's not that? Yeah, you get a 6,000% return. Yeah. Office Christmas Party. Jambud says, would they say it in that way? And at the moment, that convinced me. But now I think about it, how else would you say it? Points just go. So it's possible to do a prediction that no one has channel points. Well, for a bit. For a while. Okay. As soon as this timer elapses, we're going straight to the results. Yeah, I was going to say, what's like the hyper-formal, stuffy... besooted way to say this? What's the tie cutting off your circulation way to express Office Christmas Party? Like the winter solstice administrative bash? Won't call it the office. I think they would. I think they would call it the office. Seasonal work do. Let's just get a firm yes for this so we can be on our way. Not as much as I was expecting. Not as much as I was expecting. And nothing to do with the... That was actually closer than... Nothing to do with the recent scandal. Yeah. I mean, it still came up. It came up 6 times, so far from a no. But I thought we'd get dozens. That is interesting, isn't it? I was very interested to hear the views of a man in Manchester who feels that the police doctor used incorrect procedures to take a blood sample. He complained that he had been treated as an outcast by his colleagues, made the butt of jokes at the office Christmas party, and generally treated like a criminal. Without commenting on the particular case, it is interesting to note that society is increasingly treating drink drive offences like other criminal offences. Ooh. Well, there we go. We're all learning a lot about how to play Hansard Mania. It's a phrase you say related, yeah. This was a phrase I learned from a seasonal drunk. A photocopy wino. Okay, what's next? I didn't put a category in. Random Hansard, please. We've had LimeWire in the past. I feel confident LimeWire has come up in a past Hansard stream. Does anyone else feel that way? I don't remember the result, but on principle, yeah, I think LimeWire has been done. On principle, I don't want to accept duplicates. Thank you, Bread Santa. It was a good one, and it was a good one the first time round as well. I'm not accepting I do not need the toilet. Moving on. I'm not accepting wet Pepsi. There's just no way. There's just no way that's coming up. No, it's not. What do you mean, oh, come on? Why would anyone say wet Pepsi? Roger Rabbit. Roger Rabbit doesn't mean anything outside the film, right? It's just a film. What they say is that you just say Pepsi. Oh, mate, can I have a Coke? Sorry, we've only got wet Pepsi. Is that okay? Can I have a Pepsi? Sorry, we've only got wet Pepsi. It's just. Do we think Roger Rabbit's a wash? Do you think it's good? The film or the suggestion? May as well do it. It might be quicker to do it than debate it. If I'm not sure, then that means do it. Okay, Roger Rabbit. Slam Dunk is in. It will 100% be there. The thing is, right? One, it's not a British cultural product. Because when you're saying things like Red Dwarf, even though it's not the biggest show ever, it still is produced within the United Kingdom, so there's more of a likelihood of members of the parliament of that country talking about it. Who Framed Roger Rabbit is beloved, but it doesn't have anything you'd paraphrase. No one would use it to make a point about anything. It's like got cartoon racism in it, but it would be really weird to like talk about real life racism. And your reference point is like, who framed Roger Rabbit? Why would you bring it up? I know people bring up mad stuff like that nice guy. That sounds weird. That guy from the National Institute of Care Excellence, who brought up Crichton. But why would it come up? The only long-standing cultural touchstone that I can think of from Roger Rabbit is Jessica Rabbit for just being a really sexy cartoon. That's the only reason I hear Roger Rabbit evoked.
The winner is this.
The winner is Wet Pepsi. Well, I stand corrected. I don't know why those bars aren't resetting up. All the things that have stopped working since I updated all the software, it seems to be just that, which is unusual and annoying. Hello, Josie Hypatia. No new adult babies. We're still on the lookout for the new adult babies or wife gap. I think partially because I gave too much. I didn't give myself enough power just to pick out the best options, which I probably will in future. Vote shifting, it's driving you loopy. As in the way people drop big sums just at the end. Roger Rabbit. I think all things being equal, it's probably there. But I can't think of a good reason why it should be. What, you think someone would go to the trouble to cheat at Hansard Mania? Let them. Let them. Oh. It's close. 1989, 2 in 90, that's around the year of release. Rate support, oh no, 3. They're just talking about recent big films. Roger Rabbit? I wish to make a comparison between certain London boroughs. The Honourable Member for Brent East likes to refer to Brent's Labour administration as being like Pol Pot. That is unfair to Pol Pot. The London borough of Brent could be much more accurately compared with the script of Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Anyone who has seen that film knows that in it, as in the London borough of Brent, nothing is quite what it seems. The truth is never the truth for more than a couple of minutes, and anybody in the film is never responsible for anything that might have happened. Why is that what you think of when you think of Who Framed Roger Rabbit? What are you talking about? That's not how I think of... No, but what a weird thing to say about Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I suppose it's a detective thing at heart, and the leads all are a bit more surreal because there's cartoon stuff. But it's not like... When I think about a shifting landscape where you can't trust anyone and nothing's what it seems, Who Framed Roger Rabbit? I guess it just recently came out. He's being topical. Roger Rabbit is worse than the Khmer Rouge, yeah. Have you not seen... That's in the deleted scenes where all the toons are responsible for the killing fields. Okay, Roger Rabbit was in there. It was closer than I expected, and it only got brought up because it had come out recently. But I guess it's just a big film. Can't escape the gravity and aura of a big film. The drop shadow of a critical success. Roger Rabbit was there. Okay, I'm going to be brutal. I absolutely want to pull out a juicy. One. What's that? What does that mean? Vermouth is a drink, right? Is this somehow related to people riffing on Wine Mum and landing on Vermouth Mouth? Okay, I'm moving on. Maybe. How big was Big Daddy? I know we have an expert somewhere in the chat. That's a good clip. You mean so big? Like so big that there's no point searching? Like so big like it's a wash? He's just going to be in there. Do you know what? The joy of it is that we can still look at every time anyone said the words Big Daddy. Yeah. It's worth it for the context. Okay, 2 minutes. Big Daddy. And it's only those words, only Big Daddy. Large Father will not be accepted. Massive Papa will also be rejected. Ginormous Dada will also be spiked. Yeah? Grote Vader is fout ook. No, is ook fout. Uberwater. Diodorto. That's probably. I was going to say, I don't know if that's the correct Japanese for Big Daddy, but there probably isn't a specific thing. And he might not be there. I actually have no real conception of Big Daddy's cultural footprint. I have mostly heard of Big Daddy through Sharble streams. Five seconds to go. It was bizarrely massive. And he was just a wrestler, right? I actually never really took the time to really look at the reality of Big Daddy. Well, we'll find out now that Big Daddy did have a good footprint, but why? Yeah, not as much as you might think. 15 times. British Gas Corporation. The first time was then. Oh no, it wasn't. The first time was in 1968. Football clubs. Scotland and Wales Bill. Let's just find out why those words have come up so many times. The Local Government Finance Bill. Northern Ireland. Education Bill. The Energy Bill. Private Finance Initiative. The Wire Piddle Bypass. Voting Age. Historic Towns and Villages. British Wrestling. I'm going to pass on that because I think that's the army. Public Accounts. British Wrestling again. I think no surprises there. Big Daddy. We, on this side of the house, are often accused of being emotive in language when putting forward some of our propositions. But there is nothing more emotive in language than this caption. Enter Big Daddy. That is much more emotive language than that of my honourable friends and myself. It shows that there is a depth of feeling outside of the composition of the corporation and how it should act. Under the title Enter Big Daddy, we read... How many times did he say Big Daddy? I have no idea what he's on about. Why is he saying Enter Big Daddy? That's a fantastic thing to have found. There is nothing more emotive in language. In all of language. Yeah, British Gas, enter Big Daddy. British Gas, enter Big Daddy. Is that anything? Well, it might be lost to the archives. Who knows? Okay, why does Big Daddy come up here? Oh no, this one is not referring to the wrestler. If governments, call them executives, or what one will, are totally dependent on handouts from Big Daddy in Westminster, how can they be truly accountable in the full sense of the word to their own electorate? They're referring to like the man, the fat cat, as Big Daddy. That's great. Next one. Hang on. They're talking about... Sorry, they're talking about the guillotine. And then Big Daddy comes into it. I just need to get the context on this. So this is... Oh Lord, what is this? The local government finance bill. So how do they get onto the guillotine from here? And the first time guillotine is said, it might be the guillotine isn't literally a guillotine. Big Daddy and guillotine, a single entry, is very exciting. I just want to make sure I've got it all. It really puts my skim reading abilities to the test. Oh, it was very boring. I'll just read out the bits. The guillotine motion. I think it's some kind of motion then. Before a guillotine was imposed, which allowed 100 hours of the remaining... I don't know. I guess it's something that cuts stuff. Cuts time or stuff. Let's get to Big Daddy. I thought there was going to be a guillotine. The House was privileged to hear from the Big Daddy of the guillotine motion, the Right Honourable Member for Bladenau Gwent. Suggestions accepted from Josie and others on how that's pronounced. But it's just mocking someone for being the Big Daddy of the guillotine. Okay. Big Daddy. If they are not being conducted properly, we have, as a department, introduced a Commissioner of Complaints and the local government auditor. We are not Big Daddy, and nor is it right that we should be. Yep, that's fair. Only Big Daddy's Big Daddy. That would be lovely sitting down. Have you been sitting down on the floor? What is the LEA? This is referring to the LEA as a Big Daddy. Don't know what that is. Not about to. The Big Daddy of them all, the Nuclear Decommissioning Authority. PFI's own Big Daddy, the Channel Tunnel Rail Link. Would Big Daddy, the all-in wrestler, have taken quite as seriously had he been loyal to his given name, Shirley Crabtree? Would Elton John have been the phenomenon that he was and remains as just plain old Reg Dwight? Oh, they're talking about... Yes, they're talking about Wire Piddle. I'm trying to say, Big Daddy got to be called Big Daddy. Why have we got to be called Wire Piddle? Okay, how does Big Daddy come up in voting age? The surest way of bringing out the worst in people is to say, you do this, you shut up, this is how it is done, I will tell you, I am Big Daddy. Yeah, that would bring out the worst in me. How does Big Daddy come up here? Yeah, it's a session on how Wire Piddle's name is letting it down. I am not sure that the Department of Environment has succeeded in absorbing the old Ministry of Transport. I am worried about this. It still seems to have a life of its own in the stomach of Big Daddy. Great. Yeah. The Department of Transport, unfortunately, exists entirely within the stomach of Big Daddy. The balance we expect to be paid by Big Daddy in the shape of the United States. Big Daddy? Which is certainly the Big Daddy of the Quangos, which do not have either the primary duty of order to lay or whatever, blah blah blah. Can live without that one. Big Daddy did indeed. Nah, I feel like I'd probably say Big Daddy a lot. I see some things and then a much bigger thing, I go, that's Big Daddy. Is that posh? Does that make me posh? Pray tell, what is Wire Piddle? It's going to be just one of those little places. One of those little places with lots of hedges. There you go. It's a village. That's what I meant. A little place. Will you never say Big Daddy? They mentioned giant haystacks. There are whole debates on the history of British wrestling here. I do not think it will be in contention. Giant, he will be there. I did my tea. Oh, no. Ice cold. Okay, what's next? What we got? Who's this? It's gonna come up. I just don't see it. This was the first one I objected to. Nice Shoes is gonna come up. It's gonna come up. There's no tension. I need to now, but I'm sorry, I have to be vicious. I'm the String King. No. No, probably not. No. No one's gonna say that. Do you know what? I'm gonna prove it. It's just not there. Do you have the time to listen to me whine? It's not there. It's a bet free. It's not there, is it? Obviously. Yeah, Albright, I think something like that's on the cards. Can we check Nice Shoes? Nice Shoes is in there. Just goes to show you can't tell anything, can you? Nice Shoes, December the 1st, 2015. Richard Bacon. Housing. I honestly thought it would just be in there. Including you, Madam Deputy Speaker, and if I may say so, yours are very nice shoes. And then James Cartledge says, I cannot see them. My honourable friend should move along a bit. They are very nice. I'm so sorry, Harry. I'm so sorry, Harry. This was such a good suggestion. That's great. It was such a good suggestion. Just goes to show you can never tell. Shut up, Harry. Don't play that with me. What's next? What was the last thing that came up? Nepo babies. Do you think Nepo babies has come up? I don't know if it's interesting per se. Because if it does come up, you know why. But I'm on the fence about whether it's coming. There was no pure hate. I was just JKing around. I'll put SH in there. I think this is. I think I shouldn't have to say SH. Harry was doing the thing where he was trying to get sympathy, but I'd actually been reasonable. And then I think it's funny in that scenario to then say, shut up. To show I'm not going to have my overdeveloped sense of empathy. Well, that's fine. Well, not from this stream, I expect, because I think you're treated with a lot of respect here. Respect and care and time and patience. Sympathy for Harry. Do you know what? Nepo Baby is boring. Different people respond differently to being told to shut up. And I should learn. No, it's going to come up. It's a... Alright, that's a way of an apology. I'll search Wet Pepsi. There we go. I'm very glad to have repaired our relationship. Random Hansard. Wet Pepsi. I'm going to move on. No, I decided that even though it might be somewhat nail-biting, it's not fundamentally interesting, because if it turns up, it's because stuff's been written about it recently, and I don't care what any MPs have to say about it. It wouldn't be like Big Daddy, where it's funny finding out why they said Big Daddy. Big Sexy with the Chancellor's just not going to be there. I'll show you. Peter Kay, he's 100% going to be there. 100%. He is the largest comedian in British history and notable on the world stage.
Call open.
Anthony Turner's really famous. Anthony Turner will just crop up, I think. Peter Kay is the largest British comedian. Absolutely hands down, Summer. Absolutely 100% the largest comedian in British history. In terms of like total economic potential, Peter Kay is uncontentiously the largest. Why would she crop up? I just think she will. Are you being sad at seven references? I just think every like notable figure like that. Anthony Turner's from the British Isles. That's good. See, that's the stuff right there. That's going straight into a prediction. Yazoo strawberry. Bam. I think the Monty Python lads like John Cleese are bigger. It depends what you mean by bigger. You mean like if we did a survey of everyone in the UK? I also mean within the United Kingdom as well. If I were to do a survey of everyone in the United Kingdom and say, do you prefer Peter Kay or do you prefer Monty Python? Peter Kay would win. 100%. If you're talking about who knows the person more, like if you showed everyone a picture and be like, do you know one or both of these people? And one's the Monty Python cast and one's Peter Kay? Peter Kay would win, 100%. I can't think of a metric where I think the British public would pick Monty Python. What, they'd pick who's taller? How tall's Peter Kay? Number of men, yeah. If you say who's got more men, how would Peter Kay win? He's more popular, he's more better known, he's more recent, he's done the largest tours. in world history. He sold more tickets in a single tour than any comedian has in history, even including like American comedians.
Poll open.
Voting is now going to end. Does anyone know the Dave Chappelle? I don't know about actual raw income. I think there are probably way more ways to get super minted in America. I wouldn't even know what people are doing to make... I don't know how the economics of comedy works in America, really. He's absolutely minted, is Kay, but I don't know how to compare. Net worth sites are absolute nonsense. I know enough comedians who got famous enough to end up on those net worth sites, and then we're like, where's this figure coming from? Where's this come from? Like, a lot of people just still live in their like house share in London, but because they've been on the TV a few times, they're like, this person has a net worth of 35 million. It's like, where's that come from? Like, I know people, if they sold all of their possessions, it would not come, you know, it wouldn't even pay off their student loan. Okay, what was it? Yazoo? You'll get the wrestler, you'll get Val Venus. Yeah, Agraman in Hull. How'd that go? Ooh, a drum. Like a barrel, like a Donkey Kong barrel. Or like a little taiko, like a little Congo. Congo? Bongo. Ooh, an oil drum. That's quite a lot. Do you know the red, they use it for Smarties. What was I doing? Is it strawberry Yazoo or is it Yazoo strawberry? What have I agreed to? Maybe I could look up prediction here and find out. Yazoo strawberry, apparently. And how did people vote? I don't think so. This was when it was Manchester based. £70 for 10 minutes. Those were the days, eh? And for £70 you could buy a house. Yazoo strawberry. I think it could come up. Okay, well... fine. Bungalow's a kind of house. It did not come up. Cashing out. Sorry, Scotland to the brave. Pog. Just no plural. No plural. Just Pog. That's great. Who did that? Who did this? Yes, and so I guess if someone says PogChamp, that counts, yeah. Pog. However, we're not searching poggers, just so we're all clear. Get your bets in now. Has anyone ever said the word pog in Parliament? I knew Anthony Turner would be there. Wasn't much though. Thank you, Imperial Lumi. And thank you for trying to help me today with JSON stuff. I sussed it in the end. And it was a lot more complicated than I thought it would be. So, no surprises that no one was able to help me based on the information I could provide. Are there any... I would imagine they might have referred to the Pog fad in the 90s. Ah, but Summer. While referring to the Pog fad in the 90s, my memory is that people would be more likely to say Pogs, plural. How likely would someone be to say just Pog? The children are playing with Pog. Our playgrounds are filled with Pog. But you're right, they could say there is a Pog epidemic. The schools are plagued with this Pog disease. The school has a new drug, and its face is Pog. I'm sure I've said Pog Champ to you, Jam, but I'm always saying Pog Champ. I'm always saying these shreddies are Pog Champ. Is this new milk? This is really Pog Champ. My missus loves Pog. You don't know what a Pog is? Martine is so old. Such an old guy. Pog is the quintessential 90s disc. Here we go. I'm excited for this. Here we go. Also, we cannot rule out that there's just another acronym. Anytime you search a 3-letter word, it could come up. Yeah, Tasmanian Devil was. It's a flippo. A flippo. Pog, 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 Pog. There we go. Pog. Pog, 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 Pog. I just couldn't find footage of Pogs quick enough. Pogs have come up. Hang on. Interesting. Interesting. My lords, my noble friend has the advantage of me. Until I prepared for this question, I had no idea what a Pog was. It is a small cardboard disc, not unlike those used to be found on the top of milk bottles. Their size is such that it is not seriously considered that there should be any risk to young people who intentionally or inadvertently put them into their mouths. The Pog complies with legislation. I am very much aware that remarkable quantities of Pogs are circulating. It is anticipated that there will be around 500 million of them in the country over the course of the next year. My lords, I am grateful to my noble and learned friend for that reassuring reply. He and other noble lords are no doubt familiar with the small discs bearing pictures of imaginary characters now being voraciously collected by children. It is my noble and learned friend aware of reports that large quantities are soon to be launched in rival packets of cereals and crisps, and that the British Safety Council is worried that small children could choke on them. In fact, a Pog in the throat might be dangerous, certainly more so than a frog in the throat. This is great.
Winner is this.
The last one is in a debate about dealing with cultural artefacts, and they are talking about thefts of the Kurumba Mamio fertility statuette, the Pog Nare mask from Tigundamba. Which I think is a valid Pog. Valid one of the 3 Pogs. The Triforce. I think a frog in the throat's not that dangerous because frogs can squeeze themselves. They're sort of what's the thing? You squeeze a balloon and it change shape. Did they say Africa's not my country, especially Alice? I didn't catch that. Okay, prediction Pog 1.
Open.
Oh, you all voted overwhelmingly for the singular Pog, but I actually think you got quite lucky. I think you got quite lucky to get a singular Pog. It didn't come up that often. But it was there. Congratulations, recruits. You did good today. Let's keep rinsing. What's Fenty? What is Fenty? Shall I look up that word? Am I going to look it up? Fenty? Anybody? No? Fenty? It's a beauty line? I think if it does come up, it'll be about import-exports. It's a cosmetics range. I think if it does, though, you could sort of predict what the debate would be about, right? Rihanna's a very big pop star. There's an import of new cosmetics. It would be like beauty. I think it's very unlikely to come up. And if it does, I can't see it being sort of funny to read through why. So I'm gonna be brutal. I think I get more brutal as the stream goes on. And in my brutality I will, I'm afraid, nix Fenty. That's good. That's good stuff. Now, I think in the House of Lords, you know, maybe in the House of Commons, you can't say that. In the House of Lords, yes, specifically, I hate Eurovision. I mean, lots of people do hate Eurovision, but will they just say, I hate Eurovision? I guess we're going to find out. What is ALW? Andrew Lloyd Webber. He is. However, he doesn't really live in the UK all that often, so doesn't really fulfill his duties to the house very often. He's quite well known for having flown back from America specifically to vote for cuts to like benefits and stuff. I actually can't remember what the specific vote was, but it was noteworthy that he came back to the house just to vote against helping the poor. Well, you never know. Remember, there's a whole House of Lords where people just get to shoot their mouth off. How long has Eurovision been going?
Paul.
Since the 60s? 70s?
Is this?
It's the 1950s. There's a good opportunity there. It's been around long enough that someone could just shoot their mouth off. You got to remember, it's It's 2 houses, one elected, one predominantly hereditary until mostly recently, and they're both chocked to the gills with freaks. So, anything can happen. Would they say hate? Oh, you think a lord would say, I loathe, I despise. I despise this European vision of collective songwriting. Yeah, quite possibly. I did not know that, Martine. That's actually quite interesting. It's a show about space. I hate Eurovision. There we go. Eurovision with an 1874 steam train. Well, was it controversial? Oh, okay. I hate the steam train Eurovision. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. It didn't come up. I will look up I dislike Eurovision. Loathe? Detest? Do not like? Don't like? Okay, yeah, whatever. Yeah, Misa no likey. Lose that eye. Yeah, should we just try hate Eurovision? No. Eurovision sucks. Do you know what? Do you know what I think the part of phrasing? I hate the Eurovision. People will refer to it as the Eurovision Song Contest, won't they? I dislike... Oh. Well, I'll still try loathe and detest. But no, the wind has gone out of my sails. I detest. Okay, I don't know what I'm talking about. I love Eurovision. No. I like Eurovision? Has anyone said Eurovision? Okay. Like Eurovision. You've never said like Eurovision. I can't account for it. Nevertheless, it didn't come up. Nays have it. Enjoy Eurovision. The Eurovision. I don't think they talk about it enough, full stop, you know? It just doesn't come up 178 times. Not as much as you'd think, really. They actually don't talk about it all that much. Consider it. Consider it's massive. Alright. We'll do our last one. So I'm going to be utterly brutal. I don't know what that is. I'm sorry. I don't know what that is. I also think that people aren't going to speak Welsh in there. I think it's be so unlikely. I mean, they'll say the odd thing in Welsh. I'm sure it. Epic win. Yeah. That's the last one of the night. Has anyone ever said epic win in Parliament? There you go, 2 minutes. Epic win is quite good. It's such a bog standard to the point where I have relatives who are in their 50s who know what an epic win is. It's saturated. It's like mainstream old shit clickbait internet full saturation. My nan only said that because my cousin was living with her. And I think she said, did she say dickhead or did she say knobhead? My cousin, who's covered... What's the best way to describe him? I guess I shouldn't. Anyway, he lived with my nan. And she picked up a lot of swear words. Stuff that she wasn't familiar with enough to know that they were curse words. And she got in trouble while playing Uno with the aunts. No, epic fail. Epic fail is the more well known than epic win. Epic fail is the iconic YouTube compilation. Were the aunts being dickheads? Probably. If it was a very late game of Uno, yeah, someone would have been a dickhead several times. Well, I don't think they objected to her calling it out. They objected her to her saying dickhead. Yes, everything that has been submitted that hasn't been trashed by me will be around for next time. I also cannot stress enough that my nan is it's like a kindly, very elderly Irish Catholic woman. There's a lot of Jesus everywhere. The idea of her calling someone a dickhead is insane. Is insane. Her insults would be Egypt, daft hapeth. I think occasionally she'd call someone barmy. Right, what are we doing? Epic win. Did anyone drop any fat stacks? Well, her belief is that there was a lot of Jesus everywhere. Yeah, and more recently her belief was that a specific saint has been directly communicating with her from beyond the dead, and that a devil came in to the house in the form of a cat while she left the door open. And people have gone, well, it could just be a cat. She said, nah, this cat was weird. I'm very sorry, epic win. Well, no, she's still blonde. She's still blonde. I'm not going to keep arguing the point, but the vaccine did make her blonde. Never had a break-in. Not even from a little devil. Because my nan's got all the same stuff, right? All the posters. She's a mega fan. But little devils keep coming in. We will, for our own satisfaction, just see if Epic Fail is here. Let me cash you out so you're not confused by this. This is just an extracurricular. Epic Win, I'm afraid, did not turn up. But does Epic Fail turn up? Whew. 1. I wish we'd done this one. I wish we'd done this one. November the 1st, 2020. What if it described the pandemic response as an epic fail? The National Security and Investment Bill. Mark Logan from Bolton North East. Ding dang do. Where's the epic fail? According to Hansard, the word mnemonic has only been used once in this house, and without actually producing one. This could be an epic fail, so the house should brace itself. I would give way to the minister if he'd like to intervene straight away, or indeed anyone else in the chamber who can rhyme off the 17 industries that may feature in this final legislation. If not, forever hold your peace. Silence. Great. It goes like this, and it does not roll off the tongue. It is CQC, which we are all very familiar with. Cascaded team. C is for communications, Q is for quantum technologies, C is for computing hardware. I could go on, but I'll simply repeat it again. CQC, Cascaded Team. That, honourable ladies and gentlemen, along with the bill's contribution to security, transparency and prosperity, is how I would like to personally contribute to today's debate. Wow. What a guy. What a funny little guy. I want to look at this guy. Mark Logan, Bolton Northeast. Mark Logan, Bolton Northeast. Oh, yeah. Yes. Look at him. Look at him. Him. Look at him. Look at him. Imagine him standing up in Parliament and saying, silence, great. It goes like this. It is CQC, which we're all very familiar with. Cascade Team. C is for communications. Q is for quantum technologies. C is for computing hardware. I could go on, but I will simply repeat again. CQC Cascaded Team. That, honourable ladies and gentlemen, along with this bill's contribution to security, transparency and prosperity, is how I would like to personally contribute to today's debate. Oh yeah, he's on something. He's on something. This guy's having open eye visuals. Cascaded? Is that what the word says? It is cascaded. I just didn't pass it correctly. It's Cascaded Team. CQC Cascaded Team. Ah, you're right. CQC Cascaded Team. That's the... As we know, C stands for communications, Q for quantum technologies, and C is for computing hardware. We're Ms Team, yeah, sorry. It's actually C... Let me just clear this up. CQC Cascaded Ms Team. There you go. CQC Cascaded Ms Team. It's a mnemonic, you see, but you might need a mnemonic to remember that. Alright, last thing before we go. I just have to do one last thing. Ding dang do. It's not going to be a verse, just for me. Okay. Oh. Happy Hansard evening, everyone. Thank you for supplying me with so many things to search. I think the Hansard will come back at some point, probably not imminently, but I do like having a little rifle through here. Yes, Baldy, I've found some things from the 1840s where clearly it was just, I think it's got digital readers of the old text and probably doesn't like someone's weird cursive. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for the company. It was good to see you back, Maggie. If anyone has been lurking around and wants to find out more stuff that's going to be coming up, we have the Discord where we love to say hello and we love to say the word egg. I am going to close up for now. I will be back on Friday.
Egg.
And I'm
Egg.
In four
Egg.
minds about what I'm going to do on Friday. So I'll probably let you know on
Egg.
Friday itself. Egg indeed. Egg,
Egg.
everyone. Happy egg,
Egg.
one and all.
Egg. Egg. Egg.
Back to
Egg.
the black hole.
Egg.
And I'll find something to raid into.
Egg.
Who's around? And who wants to be infiltrated by a bunch of Hansard maniacs? Wimpdork is just chatting and playing the lake demo. It's also just Stevesy, but I raided them a couple of times recently and this feels like maybe Wimpdork. It's a nice puzzle, and there appears to be some xylophone. So, basically an unlosable situation. See you all later, and get pondering Hansard stuff. Scribble them away. DM me. Good night. Goodbye.